Okay, so welcome to December 3rd, 2020. Nice little connections between these two and these two numbers. Okay, Latin root pend. It's quite fascinating how they are all connected and they have a bond. All right, so we're on page 47, and the first word is the word suspend. What's the word? Excellent, suspend. You can use it more than one way. So suspend means to hang something. Okay. So for example, when you hang something, you post it, you put it up, you dangle it like earrings will dangle. They suspend from your ears or they droop from your ears. A bracelet that you wear on your wrist will suspend. Things will hang down. All right. The other way to use the word suspend is when you stop something from happening. Stop something, from happening. So for example, to suspend something is to stop, is to halt, to postpone, right? Think about a sports game. They have a rain delay, they have to suspend the game. And of course, when someone has to get suspended from school, they stop coming from school. They stop going to school, pardon me. Great antonyms for when it stops is the opposite is to continue. All right. And there you go. So suspend. 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 So let's go. Suspend. Suspend. Okay, notice that Latin root. We can use it more than one way. It is a homograph. Excellent job. The next word is the word depend. What's the word? Excellent. Depend is very simple, to need or rely on something or someone. Like when we're babies, we have to depend on our families to take care of us. As we grow up, we learn our independence. We don't have to depend on them. Okay, the ducklings depend on their mother. So, for example, a great synonym, I love the illustration also in Scholastic with the ducklings and their lovely, lovely mother. Okay, so some synonyms for the word depend is need, okay, rely. Someone who you can depend on is reliable or trustworthy. Great antonym would be independent, okay. But also in that when someone is reliable, you rely on them, you would say you do trust them, but the antonym would be distrust or suspect or to question that, okay? But there's one other way that you could use the word depend. Okay, so just hear me out. Okay, think about the weather and clothes, right? That you will wear certain clothes depending on the weather. What's the context? So someone might say to you, what would you like to do? It depends. What's the context? What's the situation? What is the circumstances? Okay, depend. But in the end, coming back to that, it really is to rely on someone or something. It's to rely on the conditions outside. Just wanted to put that out there, okay? Depend. Depend. So I'm not going to make it into a homograph for you guys for right now. Okay, so let's go. Whoops. First syllable, D. Second syllable, pend. Depend. All right, how do we mark this up? Underline the E can say E at the end of a syllable. That is rule 4. Again, note the Latin root, pend, which does mean hang. Okay? The next word, speaking of hanging, is the word pendant. What's the word? Excellent, pendant. Now, a lot of you have seen this. A pendant is sort of like a little mini flag. It's a hanging ornament, okay? But the general one, it's a hanging ornament, especially one that's on a necklace. Okay, so pendant is an ornament. You can find it on a necklace, a brooch, a choker, pearls, a rosary or beads, a locket or a bracelet. A pendant, the opposite because you're wearing it on your neck or your wrist, maybe like an earring, it would dangle. But for me, no antonyms really there in terms of a pendant. It's just an ornament, sort of like a flag or a bandana. But again, it's a hanging ornament, especially one that's found on a necklace, all right? So a ruby pendant around her neck caught everyone's attention, okay? And it does mention pendant is also used to describe light fixtures that hang down, okay? Anyway, pendant, let's go. Pendant, pendant. So let's go. Pendant, pendant. And you can see that Latin root right over there, okay? Maybe an antonym, like I said, could be a ring or an earring. I would say it's a little pushing it. It's a bit pushing it in that respect, but it's sort of appropriate, I would say, because it doesn't exactly dangle. All right, but synonyms, it's a very, very limited amount. Ornament, a necklace, a brooch, choker, pearls, rosary, beads, locket, bracelet, that sort of thing. It's actually not so limited now that I think about it. Okay, so the next word is the word append. What's the word? Exactly, append, which is to add a part onto something. So when you include a caption and an illustration, you append your work, your writing, okay? It's to add, to attach or an attachment. Think about an email, right? When you have to include an image, you append the text of what you're writing. To include, to tack on. The antonym might be remove, exclude, disconnect, subtract, unfasten. Okay, append. All right, so let's go. Append, append. So that's number 5. Append. Okay, append. Notice we divide the syllable by the double consonant. And no, it's not a matter of 6 append 5 equals 11. That's not what we mean, okay? Now, there is a word related to books and also our bodies, which has to do with the word append, and is the word appendix. What's the word? Excellent. Appendix. An appendix is found at the back of a story or a book, where they give you information about vocabulary or what page something might be found on. It's an addition to the actual book. It's just that little something extra. Now, when we're talking about that, it's kind of interesting because the antonym would be, since it comes at the end of a book, the antonym would be introduction, okay? But an appendix is also addition, but the antonym would be subtraction, okay? A great synonym for appendix is supplement. Sometimes in a book, an appendix will be called an index, okay, where you find this information. However, there is one other way to use the word appendix. Yes, it is a homograph. And this is a bodily organ, which is very important for many people, although people have it removed. Sometimes it can get inflamed, it can get infected. But an appendix is actually a bodily organ which has good bacteria, which protects your gut or your stomach. Appendix. So let's go. Appendix. 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 Okay. So we can use it more than one way. It is a homograph. Okay. And what do we do with these two words? Excellent. Take a look at many, many books, especially nonfiction. You'll find an appendix there. And everybody here, unless you've had your appendix removed, you have that bodily organ which stores good bacteria and helps to protect your gut, your stomach. All right? I can't think of any synonyms for the bodily organ for appendix, so we'll leave that one alone. But I did list a whole bunch of others for appendix as it relates to books. The next word is a hot word right now, and it is the word pending. What's the word? Excellent, pending. Okay, and it's really very, very simple. You see this when you log in sometimes. When something is still being decided upon, when you're waiting, right? So for example, pending approval, you might be able to stay up late on New Year's Eve. It depends on what mom says, or dad, or grandma, whomever makes the decisions. Okay. Pending, pending you paying for your ticket, then they'll let you in, right? Like entry, right? Unresolved, undecided, unsettled, undetermined. Also, you can say until, pending approval, until I get approved while I'm waiting. Okay. So there you go. But the reason I also say it's a hot topic because we're talking about the election and the results of the election, and it's still pending when the electors by December 14th send in their votes. Okay, so everybody's a little bit on pins and needles, but really, we just have to wait it out. We have to just say, okay, it'll be an antonym. It'll be resolved. It'll be decided. It'll be confirmed in due time. Okay, but right now we have to just wait. It's not been decided upon. Okay, so let's say in our own class, right? Let's say our class poll results are still pending. In other words, we are waiting to count up all the votes. Okay, pending. Let's go. Pending. Pending. First syllable. Pen. Second syllable. Ding. Pending. Okay, so how do we mark this up? Underline the ng. Can we use the word pen by itself? Yes, we could use the word ding. The only reason I'm not saying it's a compound word is because really the base is the Latin prefix pend. One other way to think about it also, the other day, Mr. Diaku was waiting for approval to either close the school down for 2 extra vacation days or to open up. It was pending approval. It was waiting for approval. It hadn't been decided when he had sent out that email. Okay, and you see this with computers all the time. Pending, right? You can't enter until it reads your password and so on and so forth. All right, anyway, the word for today is the word recover. What's the word? Excellent, recover, which really means to improve in your health, okay? To recuperate, to repair, to redeem, to fix, to mend, to get better, to restore, to heal, probably the best one, recover. However, we could use it one other way, which is to find a lost item, to find, to locate, to reclaim, to redeem, to rescue, to salvage, like when they salvage and they recover a lost treasure. Okay? So, recover. Let's go. Recover. Recover. So, let's go. Recover. Recover. Okay, how do we mark this up? Underline the E. The E can say E at the end of a syllable. You got it. That is rule 4. We can use it more than one way. It's a homograph. You know the rules with the homograph and the etymology. Okay, so let's go. Recover. Oop, how do we mark this up? I forgot. Underline the Should have left it, see if you figured it out. Too late now. Let's go. Recover. Recover. Pending. Append. This is probably the most challenging word here. Let's go. Appendix. Pendant. Depend. Suspend.